I used to be a really difficult wife. I really gave my husband a tough time when we first got married. Not because I'm a bad person by nature, but because I listened to the wrong advice. Now, before you judge me, before I got married, I always consumed relationship and marriage contents on social media like Instagram, like TikTok, even on YouTube. And those things affected my mindset because the kinds of um relationship content I was consuming were those type that always they always come online and say men are this, men are that, marriage is hard, marriage is bad, marriage is manipulation, and all of those kinds of stuff. It got stuck on my mindset. I started behaving like that. I started resenting every man that came to me because I developed a mindset that all men are cheats, all men are scum, all men are bad, and marriage is also bad. Now, that was when I realized that you become what you consume, you become what you always surround yourself with. Because I surrounded myself with those kinds of content, I entered marriage with a negative mindset. I entered marriage with a mindset that men are bad. And so I was always on edge. I was always trying to protect myself from my husband. And this made me a difficult wife. I was a very good person when I go out. I'm very good to everyone outside. But once I get into my home, I have this protective shield all around me. I have this thought of I am always ready to fight my husband because he's not going to try me simply because he said all men are bad. I am not going to allow him to treat me in a bad way. So that was how I became a very difficult wife. And my marriage started stumbling. My marriage started struggling to survive. It was almost at the verge of collapsing, almost at the verge of separation. Until God helped me, I found my life in Christ and I started studying the Word of God. And that was when I realized that I had been doing marriage wrong. I entered marriage with the wrong mindset. And that was actually what was affecting my marriage. My husband started resenting me. He also started becoming difficult to me because one thing I realized was that when you make life difficult for a man, he makes life difficult for you in return. Then God told me I was doing my marriage the wrong way and I had to change my mindset. So I really had to work on my mindset. It was not an easy one, but I was determined to make my marriage work. And that is why I want to share 7 ways I healed my marriage after being a difficult wife. And I believe that if my marriage could survive and still stand and thrive till today, then any marriage can thrive as well. If only you will let go of that mindset of I don't want to submit, I don't want to be under a man, and actually allow your husband to take the lead and exercise his authority in your home. Hi everyone, hi ladies, you're welcome. If you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Nelly, and on this channel I talk about everything marriage, love, and relationship. If this is the kind of content that you would like to consume, if this is your type of content, do well to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to put on the bell notification so that you can get instantly notified whenever I upload a new video. So without wasting much time, let's get right into the video. The first thing I did to heal my marriage after being a difficult wife is that I stopped being combative about everything. When I newly got married to my husband, I was always ready for a fight. I was always willing to argue with him, to combat with him, both in words and in everything. I was fully ready. See, I was a very stubborn wife. Before my husband would say anything, I would have snapped up. I would say many things. I would just say things that would hurt his feelings. I would counter every order he gives, every instructions he gives, I wouldn't follow. I was just the opposite of a good wife until I gave my life to God, and he made me to understand that I was doing my marriage wrong, that my husband is supposed to be my leader and not my friend or somebody that I could talk to anyhow. And when I started bending over for my husband, everything about my marriage changed. I started listening to him. I started respecting him. I started giving him the honor that is due him. I submitted to him and everything changed. My marriage started thriving and we started living in peace. Those of you that love to talk before your husband talk one, you're upset 10, you need to stop doing that. Because once you prove to be a difficult wife, you're never going to enjoy your marriage. That man is going to make that marriage difficult for you as well. Instead of combating with your husband, always keep quiet when he's talking. And after he finishes whatever it is he's saying to you, you can now contribute. Don't interrupt him when he's talking. Don't try to banter words with him. That will make you a disrespectful wife, and he is going to be on the edge. He's going to be so ready to fight you when that time comes. So stop combating with your husband and learn to lie low. Learn to listen to him first before you air your opinion. Another way that I healed my marriage is that I stopped questioning every decision my husband made. Before, I wanted to know everything. If my husband wanted to buy anything, I would question it. If he wanted to take any decision, I would be at the forefront trying to let him know that he is wrong. I'll be trying to impose my own ideas on him. And it made him resent me. It made my marriage chaotic and everything was a struggle. We were living in the same house. We're living like roommates. There was no real connection between us because of the bad character I was portraying. But now I allow my husband to lead. I allow him to make decisions on his own. I no longer interfere with whatever he says. And funny enough, ever since I started allowing him to lead and exercising his authority and taking decisions like a man that he is now coming to me to ask me. Now my husband does not make any decisions without telling me. He doesn't take any major decisions without informing me first, because I allow him to lead. I allow him to be himself. I allowed him to be a man of the house. And this has practically changed how my marriage was. It has raised my marriage from level 1 to level 100. I no longer worry my head or get headaches over what he does and what he doesn't do. Now he comes to me freely. He has given me a great influence over him by himself without him even knowing it. So stop questioning your husband's decisions. Stop trying to pry into every decision he makes. Just sit back and allow him do his thing. And over time, when he realizes that you are no longer trying to control him, he will naturally come to you. He will naturally seek your advice over decisions before he make them. Third thing I do to actually heal my marriage is that I stop shutting down whenever things get uncomfortable. Now, before, when anything happens or something is happening in my marriage and I don't like it, instead of me to speak up, I will just shut down. I'll become cold and distant from my husband, and I would actually be expecting him to figure out what was wrong with me. I would expect him to read my mind and make amends. And that made us grow a lot distance from each other until I realized that what I was doing was wrong. Until I learned that if anything happens, I should speak up. If something doesn't go down well with me, I should bring it to his notice. We should have a conversation about it like matured adults. Ever since I started doing this, we have started communicating really well. We now have a very healthy and matured conversation. We now understand each other more, that whenever something is wrong with either of us, we communicate it clearly. We pass it across instead of holding it inside, instead of shutting down completely. There is one dangerous thing about shutting down when something is wrong with you. The thing is, the day that a little quarrel will happen between the both of you, it will become a very big blowout. It will become a very big thing, because all the things you've bottled up inside of you for months and sometimes even years, you want to bring them all out at that instance, and it's going to cause a big quarrel. It's going to be a big clash. So when something is wrong with you, do not bottle it up. Do not say, oh no, let me just keep quiet, I'm trying to maintain the peace. Do not tell yourself, okay, I'm trying to let it go. You're not letting it go. What you're actually doing is that you're bottling it up, and it will build resentment slowly inside you. So learn to speak up when something is wrong with you. The first thing I did to actually heal my marriage is that I stopped making everything about how I felt. Everything what before was just me, me, me. I was so selfish. I was so self-centered. And I actually thought that my husband was the problem, not knowing that I was the problem that was causing trouble in my home. Everything was just about me. If anything was happening around me, I would twist it and I would turn it and I would make it seem like it was all about me, all about how I felt. It was always about what I wanted, always about what I thought, always about what I wanted to happen in my home. And that made me a really difficult wife. And my husband got tired. He got tired of trying to explain himself. He got tired of trying to show off for me because nothing he did was noticed. It was always about me. It was all the priority was me, me, me. And when you have this kind of mindset in your marriage, it's going to cause a loophole. It's going to cause a gap between you and your spouse because you will not pay attention to his feeling or to what he wants or what he's actually going through because all your attention will be on you. That is not self-love. That is wickedness. Self-love means that you notice yourself, you will know what you want, you communicate it clearly, and you also notice what other people want. You don't just make everything all about how you feel. It's all about what you want, what you need, what you are feeling. It's all about you. Everything is just centered on you. You are not the only one existing in that marriage. You are two people in that marriage, and everybody's feeling is valid. Ever since I stopped making everything about myself and started making my husband feeling valid, and I started making him feel seen and heard in the marriage, everything changed for me. The whole marriage turned a new leaf, and now I am enjoying my union with my husband. The fifth thing I did to actually heal my marriage is that I stopped defending myself instead of actually hearing him. Before, when my husband wants to say something, before he says maybe something is wrong with him, or maybe he doesn't like something I'm doing in the house or in the marriage, and he wants to complain it to me or he wants to bring it to my notice, before he will even say anything, I will start defending myself. No, you don't understand. No, that is not how it is. No, let me explain myself. It is not like that. I will start looking for ways to defend myself. I will become defensive, and this made him feel bad. Although I didn't notice that he was feeling bad at first, I actually thought I was trying to prove a point, that I was trying to be outspoken, that I was trying to show him that I knew what I was doing, not knowing I was being foolish all along, until God brought it to my notice that I was being foolish, that I was doing too much, and I was being overly defensive against my husband. Since I realized it, everything has changed. Now I listen to him whenever he wants to say something. I don't listen to him to respond, but I listen to him to understand. I don't listen to him just to wait for my turn to reply. I listen to him to get what he's trying to pass across, to get the real message he's trying to pass across to me. And now he's feeling heard, he's feeling seen, and everybody is happy. Everyone is feeling valid. Everyone is feeling important because we have learned to give each other that importance. We have learned to let each other know that everyone is important in a union. No one person is more important than the other. Women, we like talking. We know how to talk too much. Before our husband would say one word, we have finished the whole story. We have leveled everything down. It's actually a sign of disrespect to your husband. So if you're the type of woman that is always been on the defensive side, then it is time for you to work on yourself. Start learning how to actually listen to your husband instead of just listening to respond to him. This thing I did to actually heal my marriage is that I stopped waiting for him to become perfect before I could actually respect him. I wanted my husband to always be perfect. I always prayed for a perfect man, a man who knows everything, a man who will do everything at the right time, a man who will show up for me at the right time and know exactly what to do. And this mindset led me to always believe that if my husband is not perfect, if he's not doing what I want, I won't respect him. I was not going to regard him. I was not going to give him the honor that he deserves. Not until I learned that respect is what you naturally give to a man. This is what they deserve. A man does not want love from you. All he wants is respect. and honor. And once you're not able to give him those two things, you become his enemy, because it's like, this is my birthright and you want to take it away from me. I'm not going to agree. I'm going to fight you to death. That's how it is. Respect is something that a man naturally wants. A man wants respect and commitment. If you can give him these two things, then you are good to go. And when I realized it, I stopped waiting for my husband to be perfect, and I started giving him the respect that he deserved. I started honoring him with my words, with my deeds, with my actions, with my thoughts, and with everything. I started respecting him the way I would respect my God. I started treating him like the Lord in my home, because he's actually my Lord and Master. Once I started doing this, everything in my marriage changed. He became the man I prayed for. He naturally became the perfect husband I was looking for. He started showing up for me the way I wanted. He started treating me like a queen. He started loving me the way I wanted to be loved. No man is perfect. It is you, the woman, that will bring out that perfection in a man. You can only bring that perfection inside a man through the way you respect him, through the way you talk to him, through the way you regard him. Men only want respect and nothing else from you. Another thing I did that helped me heal my marriage is that I stopped dismissing my husband's feelings like they didn't matter. They really do. And most women are guilty of this. We always tend to dismiss our men's feelings when they communicate to us like, oh, these days I'm doing so much and I feel like I'm not seen. I feel like I'm not being heard. I feel like I'm not being appreciated enough. Instead of it to calm down and actually listen to him and make amends, we tend to dismiss the feeling. When my husband used to tell me, oh, I'm feeling like this is how I'm actually feeling. I'm feeling like I'm not heard in this relationship. I'm feeling like my efforts are not fully appreciated in this relationship. I'll tell him, okay, don't worry. We'll talk about it later. Okay, don't worry. I'm going to make amends. Okay, don't worry. We're going to discuss it later, and that will be it. I will never come back to that topic again. I would never work on myself or try to even sit down and think of why my husband would say that. And that made him feel unheard, made him feel unseen, made him feel unaccepted, unloved, and unappreciated by me. And this created a gap, a distance between us. But ever since I learned to put his feelings into consideration, ever since I learned to put myself in his shoes, ever since I learned to validate his feelings and make him feel important, make him feel like his feelings matter, because they actually matter, everything in my marriage has changed. Everything in my home is booming. My marriage is thriving. My husband is loving me the way I want to be loved. We are actually living like the couple that I dreamt of. Marriage is not hard. Marriage is not manipulation. Marriage is what you want it to be for you. The Bible says that a wise woman builds her home, but a foolish one tears it down. It is the job of a man to lay the foundation of a home, but it is the responsibility of a woman to actually make that home become what she wants. What kind of home do you want for yourself? Do you want a chaotic home, a home where you're always quarreling, a home where there's always noise, where you're always fighting and having disagreements? Or do you want a home that is harmonious, a home that is peaceful, where you can actually bring up God-fearing and peace-loving children? It is your job as a woman to answer this question with all honesty and heal your home before it collapses. There is no marriage that cannot be saved. No matter how broken you think your marriage is, it is your responsibility as a woman to actually save your marriage. This is all I have for you, beautiful ladies, today. If there is anything you want to add to this list, please do well to leave it in the comments. If this video spoke to you, don't forget to like and share with another woman who needs to hear this. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Bye!